I bought Emma the smartwatch for her birthday last March. It wasn't expensive, just something practical, sleek, with a gold rim she'd been eyeing online. She'd gotten into fitness lately, saying she wanted to feel like herself again. I figured it would motivate her, maybe give her something to focus on while I was away for work. I travel a lot. Pharmaceutical logistics, not glamorous, but steady. 3 to 4 nights a week on the road, living out of hotel rooms, airports, and coffee cups. For years, she hated it. She used to stay up late to FaceTime me, complain that the bed felt too big without me. But sometime over the last year, that stopped. Now, when I'd call from some anonymous city, she'd answer distracted, already in bed. "You should rest, babe," she'd say. "You sound tired." Then hang up. I told myself we were just getting older, that every marriage slows down. The long hugs at the airport turned into quick pecks. The "miss you" texts became emojis. Small things, easy to ignore if you really want to. The watch was supposed to change that. Something that said, "I notice you. I care." When she opened it, she smiled, big, genuine, the kind of smile that used to melt me. She hugged me, kissed my cheek, said, "You're the best." She wore it all the time. Even to bed. "Tracks my sleep," she explained. "You'd be surprised how much I wake up at night." It synced automatically to the health app we shared, mostly for meal plans and grocery lists. I didn't think twice about it. The thought of snooping through her data felt weird, invasive. We weren't that kind of couple. At least, that's what I told myself. The first few weeks, she was more energetic, happier. She'd send me screenshots of her step counts, her new running routes. "Look, 10,000 before lunch," she'd brag. I loved that. It felt like I'd done something right for once. But slowly, other things changed too. She started taking late showers, saying she'd just finished a quick workout. She started sleeping in a separate blanket, claiming she was too hot. Her phone was always face down. Once, I woke up at 1 a.m. and saw her texting in the glow of the bathroom light. She said she couldn't sleep. And I wanted to believe her. God, I did. Still, something in her tone had shifted, like a door closing behind her words. By May, I was traveling again, long trips, multiple states. Every time I came home, she seemed lighter. Happier. Healthier. She'd lost a little weight, her skin glowed, and she hummed in the kitchen like a woman in love. Only, she didn't look at me when she smiled. I remember one night before I left for another trip. We were in bed, and she reached over and adjusted her smartwatch, making sure it was tight on her wrist. I teased her, saying she was obsessed with that thing. She laughed softly. Just trying to stay consistent. I kissed her goodnight. She turned away. And I didn't realize then that the same gift I'd bought to reconnect us would be the thing that proved how far apart we'd already grown. It started with boredom. I was in a bland hotel room in Dallas, another week, another conference, the kind where everyone pretends to care about PowerPoint slides and cheap coffee. It was 11 p.m., and I couldn't sleep. I opened the fitness app to check my own step count. I'd started using it too, mostly to keep myself accountable on trips. That's when I noticed Emma's profile synced at the top of the screen. She was still wearing the smartwatch, so her data automatically backed up. Out of curiosity, I tapped on her activity. 2:14 a.m., 706 calories burned. Heart rate, 158 BPM for 87 minutes. I frowned. Must have been a glitch. Maybe she forgot to take it off and tossed and turned in her sleep. But when I scrolled through the week, my stomach dropped. It wasn't just one night. There were several, always when I was away. Monday, 2:03 a.m., 731 calories. Wednesday, 1:58 a.m., 689 calories. Saturday, 3:11 a.m., 812 calories. Same duration, same heart rate spikes, same times. I told myself there had to be an explanation. She'd said she couldn't sleep, maybe she got up to do yoga or something. But 700 calories? At 2 in the morning? That's not stretching, that's a workout. The kind that doesn't happen alone. I couldn't focus the next day. Every time my phone buzzed, my chest tightened. I wanted to confront her, but what would I even say? "Hey, honey, why does your heart rate look like you're running a marathon every time I'm gone?" She'd laugh it off. Tell me I was crazy. And maybe I was, because once you suspect, everything starts looking like proof. When I got home that weekend, I tried to act normal. She greeted me at the door like always, smile, kiss, the smell of her shampoo. But something was different. The warmth felt rehearsed. She'd bought new lingerie. She said it was for me, but when she wore it, she seemed somewhere else. Her eyes drifted past mine, her hands too gentle, her kisses too polite. I started checking the data obsessively. Every trip, every night I was away. And every time, like clockwork, it happened again, 2 or 3 a.m., 700-something calories, heart pounding, for about an hour and a half. At first, I thought maybe she left the TV on and the motion sensor glitched. But then I noticed the GPS tracking feature. It showed movement, from our house, to another address. A place just a few miles away. I copied it into Google Maps and stared at the screen for a long time. It was a small townhouse near the business district. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, trying to breathe, staring at the darkened hallway. The house felt foreign, her perfume in the air, her shoes by the door, everything familiar yet hollow. I thought about calling her right then, demanding the truth. But what if she had an excuse? What if it was all a misunderstanding? So I did nothing. I said nothing. I just waited. I told her I had another business trip coming up. Chicago this time. She smiled, told me to travel safe, kissed me goodbye, and went back to scrolling her phone. That night, I didn't go to the airport. I stayed in town. I told her I had an early flight. She hugged me goodbye in the driveway, wearing my hoodie and that sleepy half-smile that used to make me weak. "Text me when you land," she said, wrapping her arms around me. Her voice sounded soft, genuine. If I hadn't known what I knew, I might have believed her. I drove for a while before circling back, parking a few blocks from our house. I turned off the engine and sat in the dark, watching the streetlights flicker against the wet pavement. It was late March, chilly, quiet, too still for the storm in my chest. Around midnight, the garage door opened. Her car backed out slowly. Headlights swept across the yard, then disappeared down the street. I followed. Not close enough to be obvious, far enough that she wouldn't notice. My hands gripped the steering wheel so hard they hurt. My heart pounded in my ears, matching the rhythm I'd seen on her tracker data. She turned off the main road into a quiet neighborhood, the same one I'd seen on the GPS logs. A few minutes later, she pulled up in front of a familiar townhouse. I knew the car parked in the driveway. Silver Honda. Personalized license plate. Tom's. Her coworker. The guy from accounting who always made dumb jokes during company picnics. Married, with 2 kids. I'd met him. We'd had beers once. She stepped out of the car, wearing jeans and a hoodie, but underneath, I caught a glimpse of lace at her waist as she adjusted her shirt. She looked around quickly, then walked to his door. It opened before she even knocked. And just like that, she was gone inside. The porch light turned off. I sat there for what felt like hours. I didn't cry. Didn't yell. I just stared at the door. At the house where my wife was with another man. At 12:47 a.m., I opened the fitness app on my phone. The screen refreshed. 2:03 a.m., 719 calories burned. Heart rate 155 BPM. Duration, 86 minutes. It was like watching my marriage die in real time. I stayed in the car until nearly 3, numb and hollow, before driving home. When I walked through the front door, everything looked the same. The photo of us from our wedding day, her half-empty mug on the counter, her perfume hanging in the air. I sat on the couch, staring at my reflection in the dark TV screen. By dawn, I'd made my decision. I wasn't going to scream, or beg, or fight. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of watching me crumble. She wanted out, she already had one foot out the door. So I decided to open it for her. I waited until Monday morning. She came into the kitchen still in her robe, hair damp from the shower, humming like she didn't have a care in the world. She poured coffee, smiled at me, and said, "You're home early." "I canceled the trip," I said. She didn't look up. "Everything okay?" That question, so normal, so routine, broke something in me. I set my phone on the table and turned the screen toward her. The fitness app was open. Her name at the top. The activity log right below it. "Looks like you've been getting great workouts lately," I said quietly. Her hand froze halfway to her cup. "What do you mean?" I tapped the screen. 700 calories. 2 a.m. Every night I was gone. "Want to tell me what kind of exercise that is?" Her face went pale. For a second, I thought she'd lie, the same way she always smoothed over things, turned guilt into confusion. But she didn't. She just stared at the numbers, lips trembling, eyes filling fast. Then came the excuses. "It's not what you think. It was just, I was lonely." "Don't," I said. "Just don't." I stood up and walked to the window, watching the morning light spill across the backyard we'd once planned to fill with a swing set and a dog. When she finally spoke again, her voice was small. "Who told you?" "You did," I said. "You just didn't know it." Silence. Only the faint ticking of the wall clock, the sound of her breathing uneven behind me. I'd imagined 1,000 ways this could go, shouting, crying, breaking something. But instead, I just felt tired. Like the version of me who used to love her had already packed up and left months ago. I told her I'd be filing for divorce. No arguments. No revenge. Just done. She nodded, eyes red, still not looking at me. I never wanted to hurt you, she whispered. I almost laughed. Yeah. You just didn't care if you did. I left the house that afternoon with one suitcase and a dead silence between us. She didn't call. I didn't look back. It's been 8 months now. The divorce went through quietly. No drama, no shouting in court. Just signatures, papers, and a shared agreement to move on. Sometimes I still catch myself scrolling through my photos, stopping on the ones where we looked happy. It's strange, how you can live beside someone for years and not realize how far they've drifted until they're already gone. The watch sits in a drawer now. The band is cracked, the battery dead. I couldn't bring myself to throw it out, not because I want it, but because it reminds me what I learned the hard way. You can track heart rates, calories, and sleep cycles, but not loyalty. The device I gave her to stay connected ended up being the proof of how disconnected we'd become. And in the end, it told me the truth she never would.